So welcome and thank you for joining. And I just wanted to start with, once upon a time, my parents took me to Florida at the age of 5. And I remember the airplane taking off from Miami and crying my eyeballs out, thinking, I don't want to leave, I want to stay here. And as we were taking off, there was this palm tree that just fixated. I just became completely mesmerized by this palm tree, and ever since the age of 5, I wanted to live where there are palm trees. I've made that happen at different times, and some people just feel like, especially a St. Louis, Midwestern, landlocked, Mississippi River, born and raised, all we want to do is be by an ocean somewhere. And Florida, for many people, offers that opportunity. Somebody on my Facebook page just posted, and I just posted a foodie picture about 2 hours ago, and she goes, Ellen, you make Florida seem so idyllic all the time. I'm not sure I believe that, to which I said, I'm just going to keep posting pictures and videos until maybe you change your mind. Because that's one of the reasons I became a television reporter once upon a time, because I felt like video in particular doesn't lie. Of course, you know, the technology's changed and we can do all kinds of things, but generally speaking, it's right out there. Where to start today? So yes, I don't have the usual dress on for people to look at and talk about, but I just walked on Lido Key this morning, which is 5 miles out that way over the bridge, maybe not even that far, very close, and it was just so beautiful. Even though it was cloudy out today, there were lots of birds and wildlife, and it was just so peaceful. The colors were wonderful. So I even started a Selling Sunsets Facebook page, and people are posting their sunsets from all over the country. But you know, I think I'm not, and feel free to jump in with your comments. Hi, Nicole, nice to see you. You know, if you disagree with me, sure, go right ahead. Or, you know, wherever you live, it's all good as long as you love it, right? So the reason I love it here, there's just so many reasons. The main thing is there's so much to do. But apparently, U.S. News and World Reports agreed with me, because I haven't talked about it in any of my videos yet this week. But within the past few days, this very large newspaper organization came out with a story saying Sarasota is the #1 place to retire. So we'll go to the story here. Sarasota tops U.S. News and World Report's annual list of the best places to retire in the U.S. for 2020, receiving accolades for its year-round warm weather, not too warm, award-winning beaches, outdoor activities, oh, there are so many, arts and cultural offerings, and a variety of restaurants. U.S. News also cited Sarasota's job market as attractive to those working in healthcare and who own small businesses. To complete that list, U.S. News analyzed 150 metro areas in the U.S. to find the best places to live based on the quality of life and the job market in the metro area, as well as the value of living there and people's desire to live there. Sarasota also ranked number 16 for best places to live in the U.S., number 2 for the best places to live in Florida. I can't imagine what was number 1. Number 4 in the fastest growing places, that it is, and number 21 in the best places to live for quality of life. Are there any 55 communities that are plant-based? What a fabulous idea. Especially interested in zero energy, sustainable construction using solar, geothermal, retiring in 5 to 8 years from New York, and would love to settle around like-minded folks, you bet. And there are these kinds of communities out there. Nicole, we're seeing them certainly with solar and sustainable living. There are all different kinds of designations, and especially new homes and this was starting like 10 years ago, really starting to take out not just green building, but having, you can actually have like a zero energy use based on how your utilities are connected, how the structure of the building is. And I certainly have a number of friends who are much more expert at this and know different properties and are working on permaculture environments and you know, communities like that that support very sustainable living. So definitely it is out there. And I've been amazed. I mean, just the little subtle things that you you see like differences in heating bills. For example, I lived in one place earlier when I moved down here. The electric bill in the summer, especially when it's highest here because of air conditioning, was $300. But the place I'm living now, maybe $100, if that. So there are things you can do just to improve whatever your living in arrangement is to make it more sustainable and all that good stuff. So, all right. Well, interesting that this list had like 7 different Florida cities in the top places to retire. And you know, when I was growing up, and when I worked in Miami as a reporter, St. Petersburg was known as where you went to, you know, lie on death's door kind of thing. But it is not that way now. And I mean, most places, I would say, if not all in Florida, are really making this concerted effort, especially with the 55 plus communities, to make it so that you never have to go to an assisted living facility, or you never have to go to, hey Sandra, you never have to go to a retirement home, because it is all right out the door. I mean, Whole Foods is walking distance up this street, and this office is considered in downtown Sarasota. So it's just a great community, and there's so much to do, so much nightlife I never even knew until my current boyfriend, who, if you've been looking at my Facebook page, you know, we just had our 1-year anniversary of let's go out to dinner and just be friends. So fortunately that didn't last, and we became more than just friends. He is my broker and just an amazing, kind, nice guy who probably isn't watching, so I can say anything I want. But no, seriously, he's been in real estate here for 35 years, and we just had the most amazing courtship I've ever had. He took me to every rooftop restaurant and or bar. This was, of course, before COVID. And I wouldn't say that won my heart, but just, you know, those are the kinds of things you can do down here. So hi, Melanie. Hi, Dion. If you have any questions, and one of, just feel free to ask them here, or if you're watching on the replay, any questions about real estate, about what it's like to be here in Florida. I mean, people have, I think, misconceptions that it's hot. Let's go there with that one, because I spent some time. I'm always answering that question, especially when I'm in my running gear, and people say, you know, I mean, one of the most appealing things about Sarasota is you can be outside exercising or whatever you want to do 365 days a year. I mean, even when there's maybe 1 or 2 days it gets cold and blustery, and a Florida definition of cold is you got to put on a jacket. So maybe 40 degrees, but that's really rare. But days like that out on the beach, there's nobody there, and that's really when I like to be there. Although it's not too bad when it's weather perfect and touristy perfect and all that, and warmer. But you know, there's just different ways you can enjoy it here. And it's not that you work out every day of the year, it's just you have the ability to be outside, to walk. And so many people, so many of my clients who are moving down here are listing that as the #1 reason, that it's a healthier lifestyle, and they want to be motivated to get out of the chair and to do whatever. So I think one thing I just want to say, you know, in the dreaming stage is the important part of what we do in terms of imagining what it's like to live here. So if you check out my website, ellensellsarasota.com, you can put in all these parameters about how much money or little money you want to spend, how many bedrooms, how many baths, whether you want it to be close to the water, any body of water. All of that you can put in there, and then it generates this list of properties, and you know, you can subscribe to it or not. You can do it every day, every other day, once a week, once a month, and anytime there is a change, meaning that the price dropped of a property you're looking at, or something new that meets your definition of what a good home is, it will send you an email. So that's how that works. And you know, no obligation there. You just are just a way to dream. And some people need a way to put that dream into reality. And you know, it doesn't have to just be a dream. I know that I dreamed that I wanted to come here for the longest time. I thought it would be great to raise my kids here. Never did that. But you know, when I go to the beaches here and I see what kind of a lifestyle that kids have, being able to just run freely and be in the water and enjoy all of the things of being outside, which you wouldn't think that would be so difficult, but we are so glued to our technology that sometimes it is hard to unplug. And so finding ways to get children in particular interested in doing that is critical as well. Hey, Lisbeth, nice to see you. So it's been a fun ride. I don't know, again, how many of you checked out my Facebook page with the anniversary celebration, but what did we do? We went sailing. Just one of many things you can do here, and you don't have to own a sailboat. I was a member of the Manatee Sailing Association for a number of years before life got really busy, and you'd go to a meeting once a month and maybe a social meeting in between, and then they would plan all these raft ups, these get-togethers where if you didn't own a boat, you could show your skills and agree to crew on a boat. And for $100 a year, how cool is that? And we had some amazing trips up to Kaladishi Island, north of Clearwater, where the only way you can get there is by boat, and it's usually sailboats. Not always, but you know, there's a really great Sarasota Sailing Squadron that's about 20 minutes away, and they have a physical facility that's more like $1,000 a year if you want to do the whole kit and caboodle. But again, you don't have to own a boat. They have classes, sailing classes for women, and you can just go there on a weekend and see if you can get on somebody's boat. And I've actually done that and had a fabulous time. So there are ways you can enjoy it here without it being hugely expensive. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. So we saw windsurfers yesterday. And the whole sailing thing, what we did over the weekend is we got a charter company, Spice Sailing Company. You can Google them, and for like $40, you can go out, for one person, go out for a sunset sail without owning a sailboat. So how cool is that? Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I really appreciate that. Yeah, you know, being in a healthy relationship where you can enjoy life, and life is so crazy right now. It has just certainly for me made all the difference. But you know, when 1 + 1 = 3, you know, he supports me in my work, and you know, he knew me, just to say this, through the vegan world. And then when that rug was pulled out from under my feet, and I'm no longer a traveling book author speaker, you know, I'm doing real estate, and he's been very supportive in that. And you know, some people, when they lose their job, as we have in COVID, you know, it's like, well, what do you do next? How do you pivot? How do you regroup? And you know, we could do a whole another live on that. And I'm sure many of you have had experiences, and I'd love to hear what you've done. You know, what you have, if you've had to pivot, if you've lost a job. Or are you still searching? Because a lot of people are too, just you know, wondering like, well, where do I go from here? So it's not easy. Well, anyway, if I can help you with any questions that you've got, I appreciate the kind words that many of you have said, not only here but in the post in the last few days. It's been a wild journey this year. I mean. Another friend of mine posted, or he was mentioning that, he said, did you go to Las Vegas? And didn't realize that the anniversary setting on Facebook was showing him that I had gone to Las Vegas a year ago. Our company, Realty ONE, had its annual convention there, and Troy and I went out there, and you know, I was just learning all about the company and everything, and it's like, that seems like it was 10 years ago. I mean, don't many of you feel like the time has just, this last year has felt like 10 years instead of just one? All right, well, if you have any experiences you want to share, how you've pivoted, or if you have any questions you want to ask me, please feel free. In the meantime, have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. All right, everybody, gotta run.